And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for today's episode of Disney Plus's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Episode 4. That's right, 3, 4, and 5 all dropped today, so I'm doing all the episodes one at a time. Finally watched episode 4, and this is another good episode. This one had some funny moments in here, and we're going to talk all about it. So if you have not caught up to Spider-Man yet, watch it. This show is a really fun show. It's not the greatest Spider-Man cartoon in the world, but it's up there. It's up there. So I'm really enjoying it so far. So in this episode, we all know that, you know, at the end of episode 3, Peter decided that he's going to have Norman Osborn be his guy in the chair, help him out when, in the situations. But, with Norman Osborn being a billionaire tech genius that he is, he's got to start tinkering with some toys, making some costume arrangements, making him a new suit or this and that. And in this episode, we get to see Peter go through a lot of different costume changes that are interesting, but quite not him, not quite the core of what Spider-Man represents, who Peter is, So we get to see him put on some kind of out there costumes that would never be him. I'm pretty sure these costume designs are probably inspired by what maybe Stan Lee, when he first created Spider-Man, maybe his first renderings of how he wanted Spider-Man to look. So I it's my guess. It's just a guess because there were some costume choices in here. I'm like, I think maybe Stan Lee maybe had created some version of this in his when he was doodling Spider-Man for the first time. So we'll see. But anyway, first costume is Spider-Man, kind of like just like an anime character with a cape. Obviously, if Edna Mode was in there, no capes. But yeah, he tried to stop a mugger. Doesn't work out for him, so Cape gets caught. We all know why, and then Peter ends up being a human piñata. So there's that. His second costume ends up being kind of like a Beetle costume, except he's got like a jetpack that makes him fly and hover. So that didn't work out really well either because he ended up smacking into a windshield. So there's that. And Comic Relief, the bus driver of the bus driver used the windshield wipers to wipe the bug away from the windshield. So funny. We also get to see him wear another costume that's kind of old school Black Panther in a way, where it's all decked up in black minus the cape, and it disguises his voice kind of like he's Batman. And a little girl loses her balloon, she wants it back, it gets stuck on the tree. He gets it and he goes, "Here you go." And then he scares the little girl. So costume 3, not a win either. So, they go back to the drawing board to get him his ultimate suit, which is the Spider-Man black and white suit that he has. Not the Venom suit. Obviously, that's not coming till later. So, his white suit, that was really tricked out and awesome. He also gets to stop a robbery, kind of, where they cause a massive traffic jam with one of those tanker trucks that explodes and people get trapped. Spider-Man does go in there and save the people. So I thought that was cool. His suit's fireproof. And also one of the, the robbers escaped, a big muscular woman. I'm not sure that's trying to reference, maybe that's going to be the new Rhino. I'm not sure. They were a Russian gang, so one of them could be the new Rhino moving forward. We just don't know yet. So she goes back to the headquarters where that strange symbol kept popping up. She goes there and we find out who the person is behind all this tech. At first I thought it was maybe Adrian Toomes or Dr. Octopus or somebody else. And it ended up being Dr. Octopus, which I should have realized because the symbol was a sideways 8. And the only person who has 8 arms in Spider-Man universe is Dr. Octavius or Liz Octavius, or which version we get. We get in Dr. Otto Octavius. Kind of, the look of him kind of reminds me of the original Spider-Man cartoon, where he's got the big glasses and he's got the bold haircut. The Dr. Octopus I kind of grew up with, and he kind of also looks a little bit old school comic book version too. So that's a win-win situation right there. So I thought that was great. We also get a moment where Peter meets Harry for the first time. That was cool. So, you know, their friendship is going to start. We also get to see Lonnie, who's, you know, Peter's friend from school, that football kid, you know, go into his first day at Gangsterland, as he's now being, you know, he's part of the gang that, you know, try to recruit his brother, and he sacrifices his own self to save his brother. And now he's got to do tasks for them. So he goes on a burrito run for the group, and he runs into another gang that's called the Scorpions, which leads into Gargan, who is the Scorpion in the, you know, Spider-Man universe. So we're going to see Scorpion here pretty soon. That's awesome. I love Scorpion. I think he's one of the coolest villains they have. He was always my favorite character in the original cartoon, so it's good to say we're going to see him soon. But we also get to see Lonnie start getting to that development of, like, he doesn't know what he's doing, you know? He's not sure why he's doing what he's doing, but, you know, he has no choice to keep his brother safe, and also his family safe, because now he's got this other gang that's going to be showing up, the Scorpions. Pun, I guess. And if they go rivalry with his gang and they know who he is, they can go after his family. So he's kind of in a weird situation there. So that's interesting. We also get the funniest ending I've ever seen in a cartoon in a while. The fact that he, you know, Peter, after saving the people from the accident, he goes back to Oscorp. He talks to Norman Osborn, takes off the mask because, you know, he feels like he's safe with him. And Harry's right there with him, and he gets busted again. So I thought that was very funny. Also, in the beginning of this episode, we get to see that, you know, a lot of the MCU is also in this universe as well. Similar, but not the same. Peter finds out that, yeah, they're going to have the Sokovia Accords in here, which pretty much makes all the superheroes must register themselves to the government and reveal their identities. So, yeah, and we also still found out that the Avengers did have a battle in Germany, minus Spider-Man, so there's a little difference right there. So, Peter's a little worried about that, but Norman Osborn says, hey, don't worry about that, I got your back, don't worry about it. So, the Avengers do exist in this world. There is a Tony Stark in this world, just that Peter hasn't met them yet. So, that's probably the only, like, slight difference from the MCU to this, is the fact that the Avengers are there, they just don't know who Spider-Man is. Spider-Man's working with Norman Osborn instead of Tony Stark. So that's pretty interesting. We'll see how that turns out moving forward. But yeah, another good episode. I enjoyed it. I'm glad we started to see the pieces come together of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery starting to show up. Obviously, we met the lady who's going to play the new Lizard. Obviously, we just met, you know, have Norman Osborn. Obviously, we just met the reference of the Scorpion, and of course, Dr. Octopus. So that's 4 out of 5, I think. There's 5 of them. So, you know, we'll see. And of course, Lonnie's going to become the new Tombstone eventually. We'll see how that turns out. But, yeah, good episode. And now I'm going to go watch the last episode for this week, and I'll be back. So, leave a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.